Morning. It's good, y'all. We right back at it. Shout out to all the members of the channel. Shout out to Checks and Balances and all the folks coming into the chat bright and early on a Sunday morning. The rabbit hole continues to spiral. I mean, like I said, folks, over here we want to be here for more than just playing the songs. It's very easy to just put the song on. And obviously we're gonna rock out and continue to do reactions for these releases. I like doing the reactions when I never heard the song prior. Those are fun. We pick up some of this stuff together at the same time. But there's a lot of stuff going on the side. And let me just let everybody know that we outside right now. And then we gotta talk about some angles here. We gotta talk about some realities. We gotta talk about some pitfalls. We gotta talk about some new revelations and some new information that has come out. It's tough to see what to believe and what not to believe, but somebody's lying. Somebody's lying. I mean, of course, once again, you saw yesterday's stream about the deeper look into things. What did we really expect? But somebody is lying. Before I bring some of this stuff up on the screen, we got some posts to go over. We got some screenshots to go over. We got some things to talk about. Let's lay some foundation. Let's talk a little bit, y'all. If you was in tune with yesterday's stream and you see the title that says a deeper look into Meet the Grams by Kendrick Lamar. We talked about so many topics and little angles and complexities of this beef. And we want to focus on the music. We want to focus on the hip hop. But the truth is, it's impossible because the side stuff and the behind the scenes stuff and all the little small pieces on the chessboard that they're moving off of beat, they matter. They come into play. They change perspective. They change the weight of their diss tracks. They change the things that they themselves are doing. It possibly changes the songs and the angles that they put out to us. This is how it really goes. When Kendrick shoots at Drake and saying that you put money out in the street and you mad because this came back with no receipts. Once again, the first time I heard that, I thought it was like some street shit that he was talking about, like put money in the street. Like that terminology is street shit. Like, what are we talking about here? But he said come back with no receipts. Everybody knows what receipts mean, right? You're looking for dirt. You're looking for information to come back. Both of them are doing that shit. Kendrick Lamar, in one of his songs, he alluded to, I'm not spending time doing dirt and all this and digging up information and all that. He's lying. They're both accepting and receiving a lot of information coming their way, and they're both looking for information on each other. They're both looking for headshots on each other, skeletons in each other's closets. And there's another point that we made in yesterday's stream, the telling the truth factor, because there's going to be a lot of narratives, a lot of exposing, and a lot of stuff that comes out through other sources of information. Everything that we find out about this battle and this back and forth between Drake and Kendrick Lamar is not going to come directly from Kendrick Lamar and Drake. I swear to God, I might sound like a broken record, but been here, done that. I swear to God, I know all about it. What happens is you got the war that's in front of you for everybody to see, right? You got the diss tracks. Put them out there for millions and millions of views, everybody to see, clear right there in your face. If Drake drops a Family Matters video, it's right there for you to see and interpret. If Kendrick Lamar comes out and drops a song, Meet the Grams, it's right there for you to listen to and pull up the lyrics to and interpret. That's for everybody to see. But the behind the scenes stuff, those are the battles within the war. And they both do it. They both do it. They're both doing it right now as we speak. And it happens in these type of situations when you got two entities clashing. The battle rap side, y'all know my history. I watched it time and time again. The war, what many people would assume, which is right there in front of their face, would just be presented and assumed as competition. Who's number one? This is all sounding very, very familiar, isn't it? right? As because this is how it goes. That's the perception of what the war is. Who's number one? Is it Drake? Is it Kendrick? Is it Cole? Same parallel. Is it King of the Dot? Is it URL? Is it RBE? Same concept. Behind the scenes, though, players involved in these different companies that are going at it for the number one spot, they leak information to certain people. They get on phone calls with certain media outlets and certain bloggers to drive their narratives, to perform mind manipulation, to spread lies, also to spread their truths and their facts, to give early information to. Because these become the pawns on the chessboard. Everybody keeps saying about how academics is a biased person and he's Team Drake, et cetera, et cetera. And I believe he's a genuine Drake fan. So am I, right? He is. But weeks ago, I had a stream and I said, Drake is using, academics. Cause I felt like while he was in the middle of a stream to get that text message from Drake, I thought that was a little at that time of the day. You know what I'm saying? I understand they might send a text and back and forth to each other, but once again, it's in Drake's best favor to be in communication and keep favor and keep bias with the biggest media outlet that's covering this shit, right? So, as much as I think that academics is a credible person, you still have to take the stuff that he puts out, even with a grain of salt. Even me, right? For all you guys know, I could be Team Kendrick and you don't know it. Kendrick Lamar could be texting me behind the scenes like, yo, I've always been a fan of RBE, and I might not be telling you. This is how it really goes. This is how it really happens. So when some of this information comes out, everything you have to take a second to look at it. Sometimes even the angles in the songs. And once again, if you watch my stream reacting, live reacting, my first listen to Meet the Grams, I jumped up out of my seat. I was fucking just, I was thrown off. I was bounced off the fucking wall hearing that shit. I was just my hip hop side. It's my hip hop side. But I'm well versed on how the shit goes behind the scenes. I'm well versed on human nature. I'm well versed on mind manipulation, war tactics, battle tactics, and chess moves. And what do? I wheel myself in, calm down, get off the music side for a second, and start to really look at human nature and realities and manipulation and smoke and mirrors and possible bullshit. And the list keeps going and going and going and going and going. Another thing on yesterday's stream that I said, there was a point in there. I swear to God, my blogs and my streams, it's like I could always go back to them and be like, oh wait, this is where I said that, or this is where I hinted at that, or this is where I said this fact, and this is my truth here. I did that in years in the past, right? Go back and pull up my own references. Like somebody said, what? Wait, here's my consistency right here. Boom. On yesterday's stream, there was a little moment where I was just like, there's possibly another angle. And then I caught myself here live in front of y'all and I said, I don't want to talk about that yet, though. I'm gonna let that play out. And the reason being is because I was showing integrity to somebody that I spoke about yesterday. I told you, I said I had about 5 conversations yesterday about meet the Grams versus Family Matters. Not all of those conversations that I had is just purely like me on the phone with my friends. Some of my friends might even be tapped in or be closer to certain people or have certain conversations or have done their own homework and just be simply knowing stuff that I don't know and hipping me to stuff. Whatever the case may be, I speak to people that are enjoying this just from a pure hip hop and entertainment standpoint. And I also speak to people that have very smart opinions about this. And I also speak to people that might speak to somebody that speaks to somebody that speaks to somebody. You never know. I don't put anything past these people that are in pockets of media and don't even put it past me. I'm realizing, checks and balances the way that you guys are growing even this stream. Certain DMs that I'm getting, like people are already starting to try to use me as a blogger. And I'm here to be used as a blogger. I'm here to support people. I'm here to take certain information and put it out to the fans a certain way while still remaining true to myself, right? But that's just what happens when people develop channels. I accuse people of doing this many, many times, from the smallest channels to the biggest channels, right? We'll see small channels that have had people try to put their hooks into them. Like, let's say on the battle rap side, like even a Rome DNV. You got bigger bloggers that have said publicly, I've downloaded all their videos talking about this shit and screenshots saying this shit publicly. The Vada Flies of the world, the Chris Unbiases of the world, the Piper Boys of the world, when they say, like, oh, I got a call from this person, or this person asked me not to do this, or this person told me not to talk about that, or not to go to this event. I got it all saved. Some of the biggest bloggers in battle rap have admit to it publicly. And the smallest ones, people will still try to put their hooks in there too. I think it's similar. It could be similar for me. Checks and balances in that chat and that stream over there is growing. You know, if ARP continues to be who he is and does what he does, it's going to be just like RBE. 2, 3 years from now, that fucking podcast will look like RBE. And me saying 2, 3 years from now is scary to certain people because it lets people know that I'm invested to take the time. I could drop a stream right now that only does 1,500 views, 1,000 views, and I will not be deterred. I'll still be right back here with the next stream. One stream might do 70,000 views, another stream might do 1,500 views, and I'll still be right here with y'all. Say, brick by brick. You see the tie-in? I'm a very consistent person. I am who I am. What's the main fucking tagline to RBE? Brick by brick, right? And y'all are really pushing it. Y'all are really helping me with this. So when I said that on yesterday's stream, and I let it go because, like I said, I wanted to show integrity to a conversation I was having. And now certain things are starting to come out more about it. So now I could talk about it on camera because the conversations with certain media outlets, it's getting to a point now where there's some accusations of lying that's coming about, and people are trying to put out pieces of proof to it. This is a very, very big angle. And now let's start to bring some of this stuff up on screen. Let's start to bring some of this stuff up. The first one that I want to talk about. Sheesh. Sheesh. The first one that I want to talk about is Meet the Grams. Okay. Meet the Grams is wait, which one is it? It's yeah, it's this one. Okay, cool. That's the one. Okay. You know what? Let's change this view. You don't need me to be okay. So as we talk about Meet the Grams, me personally, I said it's in my top 10 diss tracks of all time. The impact of it. And I know the eras have changed. Social media and the internet further, you know what I'm saying, make things impact even wilder. Like the amount of viewership for this beef, it's automatically, especially with two of the top rappers of all time, biggest rappers of all time. There's a reason why this is the biggest rap battle of all time. It's just obvious stuff. Social media, the weight of Drake, the weight of Kendrick, um, the amount of material within the time frame that we're getting. Shit, yesterday, a lot of us bloggers were damn near complaining. Like, yo, you guys are releasing too fast. Like, first we wanted all the smoke, and now y'all gave it to us. And now it's like, wait, hold on. Like, don't drop so fast. I want to go actually take a nap or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But I put Meet the Grams in in a top 10 because of the impact of it, because of how scathing it was, because of the depth of the angles and the accusations being something that, if they hold any truth, change not just the battle like in such a lopsided fashion, but change the way you could look at the biggest rapper currently in the world forever. Two of the biggest accusations in there that were new to us, because that is also piece of the effect as well. It's what made me jump the fuck out of my chair. When you get something new, we expect to hear about Rick Ross being the CEO. We expect to hear about To be honest, Drake getting peed on in a movie theater, with like we heard this before. It still hits when you bring stuff back up and you paint it a certain way and you present it a certain way and choose the right beat and you rap about it in a clever manner. That still changes things. Nothing new under the sun. But the new information is what takes us over the top. So to hear an angle of Drake is involved in escort business. He's possibly or allegedly possibly involved in sex trafficking, similar to Diddy accusations, and they want to put the pedophile stuff on him now. That's major. And then, of course, the huge atomic bomb. You're hiding another child. Here we are again. It's going to be easy for people to ingest this and believe it because people from the outside looking in feel like it happened before. Here we go with an 11-year-old. Okay. Those two angles become stop what you're doing, ultimate discussion point of this beef and this back and forth. It overshadowed Drake having one of his own, which is mega, which is your child may not be yours. It might be your right hand man's or your ex manager's, whoever that guy is, they free or whatever. They free, and everybody's dragging out their words when they're trying to imply something now. Free Whitney, and Kendrick's doing it now too. Like, but I think when Kendrick does it, he's probably trying to like troll Drake with his own shit. But whatever. Okay, let's talk about it. If y'all see this up on the screen, let me check the view. All right, y'all can see the top of this without me blocking it just fine. Okay. DJ Academics. Kendrick Lamar deleted his tweet from the Grams cover art after realizing Drake sent him on a dummy mission with false information about a daughter. The t-shirt is a shorty joke about Kendrick's height. The Maybach gloves and Ozempic or Ozemic were was a Rick Ross diss. Now let me make sure that y'all can see this up here. Okay, let me scroll it up a little bit more because I'm blocking it a little bit. Scroll it up a little bit more. Okay, y'all can see it. So peep the name of the shirt at the bottom. Shorty collection. Short joke. I could hear that out now. Okay. Um, the diabetes slash overweight stuff, along with the M Maybach glove. When I first saw the glove the first time with what was it, 616 in LA? Or was it that dropped? Or you now Euphoria had the definition cover art. But yeah, it was 616 and I was like, what is that? What's the M? What's the Maybach? Is that a Rick? I thought it was a Rick Ross disc too. Maybach symbol, right? So it starts to make a little sense. And then we see here, Meet the Gram single. Look at this, Kendrick Lamar, Hip Hop Rap 2024. It's just a black cover now. This is where it starts to get weird. So I can allow myself to accept that possibility because you can't be one-sided. You can't be biased. No, 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 no. Team Drake, this is just what it is. No, 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 no. Team Kendrick, this is just what it is. You have to be objective. You have to not be personally invested to the point where you can't allow yourself to listen to multiple layers and angles or possible lies or watch them move these chess pieces on each other. There's an odd piece of this to me. The odd piece of this to me is it's coming out now that it's being said now that Drake is responsible for the mole. He's the one that sent or put this fake information out there to lure in Kendrick to run with false shit. And if Kendrick then removes the cover art from his song for that reason, that could be very telling. But then there's an angle to it that doesn't add up and kind of almost contradicts that to me, which is this is stolen luggage, his father's stolen luggage that somebody got their hands on, i.e., Kendrick. Stolen versus setting up to smoke out a mole is two different things. When something gets stolen, it gets stolen. And then the items in the bag just happen to be the items in the bag. You might come up, you might get you a laptop, might get you some jewelry, or you might get a fucking shorty t-shirt with some Maybach gloves. Weird. That's a contradiction to me. I see QR saying the cover is still up. Shout out to Checks and Balances and y'all in the chat. So even that within itself, if that's true, would contradict this post from academics. And this is why we're staying on this point here of making sure that we evaluate the chessboard and how the media and how people are used to push their narratives. Sticking to yesterday's stream, what did I say? You don't expect somebody to come out and raise their hand and say, yes, that's true about me. Actually, if you want to give somebody credibility, you say you don't expect them to co-sign something. On the far side of the spectrum of those three options, though, is somebody coming out and just purely lying, right? Just coming out and saying something like, nah, that ain't mine, when it is. How many celebrities have we seen involved in domestic disputes? How many of them have come out and say, yeah, I did punch my ex in the face because we was arguing? No. There's always going to be some type of excuse or explanation or lie, right? I think the better side of the man or the woman is to give an explanation or rationalize something or justify something. That's where you got your friends or your media outlets or your associates, and they're giving you justifications, and you say, I could accept that benefit of doubt because I know you and we've been homies for a while, and I'm going to give you some trust. The other side of it is just a pure lie. Like they lie to their friends or the media outlets or the bloggers and tell them, oh, wait, nah, daughter, I don't know nothing about that, or Kendrick, nah, I mean, I made this up about Drake, both sides, right? So this is weird. There's two reports coming out: stolen versus it was to smoke out a mole. Let's continue. We get down to this one right here. And mind you, once again, this is academics posts. Go back to the early part of the stream when we said we got to take everything with a grain of salt, right? This is academics post. The jewelry receipt is a hint to Drake wearing Kendrick's fiance engagement ring in his Family Matters diss. I seen people say that this was, a receipt for jewelry that supposedly Drake tricked off on somebody in the industry. Now we're saying it's just a hint, just purely because it says jewelry. But then why two popular jewelry receipts? Why two of them? Why do you need both then? I don't know. But then when you come here, are they the same? Maybe, maybe not. Is there a resemblance? Yes. In the Family Matters video, why did Drake do that clear panning, zooming shot on him holding that piece of jewelry? I just thought it was a diamond or a big jewel, because stones this size, it looks like a yellow diamond in the video. Stones that size get rather pricey. So I thought it was a stunt. But Drake is very known for very clever and sneaky angles and subliminals. So it could have definitely had meaning to it. Who knows? And imagine if Drake gets his hands on Kendrick Lamar's fiance's engagement ring. You know what that does? That gives a lot of credibility back to Drake's narratives. It does. I mean, we saw the video with him, and we saw this even before the beef of, for whatever reason, he bought Pharrell's chain. Whether he got issues with Pharrell or not, but he can go into his crib and just put on Pharrell's chain. The G Unit chain, I have no clue about that. I haven't seen, either I missed the comment or I missed the tweets. Why the G Unit chain? But okay, Pac's ring, got that, bought that. Some of this is just clear. All right, he went and bought it. Not a big deal. Whether he bought it off of the fucking internet or he bought it from the person. You know what I'm saying? People collect shit, memorabilia and all types of shit. And he's got the money to do this shit too. I got Biggie's shades. I got Pac's ring. And you know what I'm saying? Like, people with money. Look at the dude that bought the Wu album. The weird guy. You know what I'm saying? Like the unreleased Wu album. Like, people got money, they do shit like that. They can be collectors. But if this is true about the ring, Drake, if he comes out and he raps to it and he puts that accusation out there, once again, it's Kendrick. Now you have to navigate that. You have to figure out how to invalidate that in front of us. And he was trolling Kendrick's wife before Kendrick dropped, or Kendrick's girlfriend or fiance. He was trolling her with the picture, the college shit. Wild shit. These angles right here of the alleged mole, this picture possibly being removed, the shirt being a short joke, the jewelry being about her engagement ring, the medicine and everything, and the glove being about Rick Ross. You know, it's very possible that Drake was just a victim of one, his own overly fucking clever angles and sneaky shit, and it just helped Kendrick. Or it could be you trying to smoke out a mole and put some of this stuff out that looks like your personal items, and Kendrick got his hands on it, ran with it, and crafted some amazing shit to it, along with some fucking bomb drop accusations. Or it could be the one that kind of contradicts that and makes me feel odd about it, which is your father's luggage was stolen and a picture or the item somehow make their way to Kendrick. All of this still loans to Drake's side. However, the outcomes of those, they would loan to Drake's side and they would actually pull from Meet the Grams. Like I said yesterday, I want to give room for Meet the Grams based on things becoming validated or invalidated. Got to give room for how crazy of a song that is. It's super disrespectful. It's 100% direct. There's no subs in it. There's no over the head shit in it. I think it's clever in the way son, then mother and father, then daughter, alleged daughter, then Drake. He lied shit. It is, even if you remove the daughter shit, like there's still a lot of shit going on in that track that just make it crazy. Crazy. It's such a dope diss track. But the weight of how it will rank up amongst diss tracks going forward, and as well as the impact of it within this battle, we have to leave open room for it based on things being validated and invalidated as we continue to find shit out. And this is where it's like it feels like we're getting messy, where we get to come on this stream and talk shit about the fucking chessboard because they're not playing the way like Drake and Nas did back in the day, or Biggie and Pac played back in the day. It's a new era, and these rappers, they do new things in their beefs. You go allegedly get your hands on the fiance's ring or your father's luggage, or you put money in the street to go come back with some receipts allegedly. That's the way these guys are playing. And it'll be one thing to be like, damn, we talking about some messy, petty shit. Don't fucking blame me though, because we here chronicling and breaking down a beef and trying to figure out what's gonna help the rapper win or not, and identify what's real and what's not. But we're not here checks and balances doing this shit. Them two niggas is. Instead of just coming out with a diss track and letting us, you know what I'm saying? Look at all this messy shit that's going on behind the scenes. Let's move to the next one. Let's move to the next one. Oh. All right. Hmm. 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 Things get interesting. Things get more interesting. All right. You guys don't need me up here. Now we get to Metro Boomin. The last segment, if you understand that, once again, we're chopping down the war tactics, the battles, the possible manipulation, the possible lies, the grains of salt that we have to interpret, the caution that we have to put out there. But that whole last tweet and that whole thing that we just went through kind of bodes to Drake's side. It does. This here now bodes to Kendrick's side. Let's talk about it. Now, of course, Metro has a horse in the race. He had a fallout with Drake. He's anti-Drake. He is a part of this all being kicked off, with the Like That song that he produced. And he's doing concert shows with Future performing it. And, Kanye's out here talking about we all formed like Voltron. We're all happy and excited to get Drake up out of here. Metro's in the middle of some of this stuff. He has his own personal issues with Drake. We saw some of the backstory to it. Is it over a song? Is it over this? Is it over that? Messy stuff, but these are all grown ass men, and this is what they're putting out as all the pieces of why they're beefing, and it's ending up in music. Cool. Biggest rap battle ever. And the behind the scenes of it shit continues. So some of these tweets of Metro Boomin. Okay, the drum thing was laughable, so I let it slide. But what we're not gonna do is spread lies and have my loved ones involved. Nobody ever hit my girl. Nigga, we grew up together. She's a real woman and not even in the industry, but I guess you don't know nothing about that. Kendrick voice. Okay. So he's defending, the shots that came from Drake recently. That's not really that important of a tweet to me because I didn't listen to Drake's last, diss tracks and go, "Oh my God, Metro." I'm more focused on Kendrick and Drake, and there are certain little elements that they can still bring in that help their songs carry, help their fight carry. For example, if Drake takes some amazing shots at Rick Ross, it's going to count on the scoreboard, right? The Metro piece of it, to be honest, because Metro's not even a rapper, I care the least about that. I care the least about that piece of it. But he picked a side and he's putting narratives and information in this beef. And he's obviously in the industry. He's obviously tied to both sides. So you never know the type of information that he has. So let's see what he puts out there. Once again, we was just on that other stuff bodes to Drake's side. This stuff is going to bode to Kendrick's side. Let's keep going. Okay. Now go make another song telling more lies because we both know you can't tell everyone why I don't fuck with you. That wouldn't be a good look for either for you. So I'm gonna spare us both with that. I wouldn't be surprised if it involves a woman. Seems to a lot of shit involve women, but for whatever reason, maybe I guess it doesn't make Metro look as good as well. So he's at least for the moment retracting to put it out. It's like even the shit with DJ Drama and Drake, right? DJ Drama, same thing. I've never even said that example. That's another one that just came to mind. Like Drake did XYZ with my girlfriend, ruined my relationship, whatever the case may be, right? And DJ Drama though coming in interviews, I think he said it on Vlad maybe and explaining it. I mean, it could possibly paint Drake as like once again a slimy guy, unless Drake just plays Jay-Z and doesn't address it. And then people are just left with drama sided. When you don't have two sides of a story, if it can fade away a little bit, especially if it's not sticking. And Drama's situation is not something that you hear people talking about. Nobody really cared. Drama, you lost your little bitch choose. That's kind of how niggas did Drama when he did that interview about Drake. Another win for Drake. That's kind of how people, treated that. So I wonder if that's another reason why Metro doesn't want to come out. Just another person that doesn't look that great at, you know, not having an arm strong enough to keep your woman from Drake. Very possible, right? Let's keep going though. Once again, that one's not as relevant to this point. I'm lame. He's saying that because he's exposing the screenshot here now. I'm lame, but the first week after like that, you tried to block it at radio. I've been sitting on this email for a month now, but just sparing you. Oh, you don't like that record? That hashtag, you don't like that record. That's Kendrick, right? Try to cease and desist on the like that record. Oh, what you don't like that record? Back to back. Oh, I like that record. I'm gonna get back to that for the record. Once again, like I said, you would think that Kendrick is over here fighting his own fight, and the 20v1 shit is just these other guys that's all the way over here, Kanye and Metro and Future and Weekend and ASAP. And no, like Kendrick is talking to these guys too. Rick Ross, like they're all on each other's text messages and DMs and phones too. You don't think Metro and is giving Kendrick shit? You're not ever gonna make me believe that these guys just want to just sit here in a booth on my own and just fight the fight. No, go give me some information. Yo, what you know about him? Yo, why y'all fell out? Yo, what did he do? It's all behind the scenes shit. But let's blow up this email. The email a little bit on the next screenshot. Okay. You see a lot of it is at least redacted or crossed out, which was good for Metro to do. I see on the to list though, you see an at to epicrecords.com. You see an email there, epicrecords.com. Umusic.com is involved as well. And I go all the way to the bottom, business and legal affairs. And there's an address that wasn't blurted out, 1755 Broadway, New York, New York. I'm pretty sure if I Google that address, it's probably a law firm, right? That's how you put your signatures and your closes on your emails and your letters and stuff like that, right? Business and legal affairs. So he blurted out, I guess, the name of the person that's being represented here or the actual law firm that's providing the representation here. Because when you have the lawyer present the cease and desist or the communication, that's how it goes. The artist doesn't do it themselves, right? There's a lot of times where an artist can be shielded or think that they're shielded or attempt to be shielded by what their legal team does and their name. No, they're representing you. They're being paid by you. So they're an extension of you. Okay. And then that leans into this, the song and the video, Family Matters, right? In the video, Drake has the line here in this scene, a cease and desist is for hoes. If you have a line in here, cease and desist is for hoes, then what's this email about? That would be just a clear lie. And this is why I said in yesterday's stream, I'm not going to trust either one of these guys to tell people that's going to help spread their narratives or to even come out and say something directly themselves or put jewels. I can't believe nothing 100% because that's just the war and the battles within the war that's being played. Now the whole cease and desist thing. Yeah, y'all know about me and cease and desist, right? Cease and desist and frivolous lawsuits, I will always have the strong opinion of and stand on that they are for leeches and cowards. And I don't like to use the other type of scathing words that people use because I just go old school and just the definition of a coward. I like to use that word. And leeches is because, once again, there's a lot of frivolous lawsuits and accusations and claims for the leeches of the world that's looking for a come up, right? They say, did he open the floodgates by paying Cassie so fast? What does that mean? How come people don't say open the floodgates to people coming out with more accusations? No, they say open the floodgates for more people getting paid. That's why I do believe that there's smoke around Diddy and he's not innocent from everything. I'd be naive to believe that. But I don't think that he's guilty of everything either because of who he is and how much people could look at him as a come up and an opportunity. Those are your leeches. The cowards are the ones that would appear on the surface to be fighting a certain fight. Let me change this fucking screen for a second. The cowards are the ones that would appear on the surface to be fighting a certain type of fight, acting like they're fighting a certain type of fight. This is just about competition, and we're number one, and we're better than you. So the fans should be, they're on the outside looking in. They don't know all this behind the scenes shit. It's just like, okay, then just sit there and fight. And let's see who's the better rapper or who's the better company or the better platform, or has a better events or the better battle or whatever the circumstances is. That's the presentation, right? But behind the scenes, you're not sticking to that. You're playing little battles and bullshit to help win the war that's in front of the fans. And when it's frivolous, once again, you are either a leech and or a coward. So let's spin to Drake. Like that. Great record. Imagine we never got it. If we never would have got it, we never would have got this whole thing in the first place. Or at least not now. Right? Nobody wants to get in a time machine and not have like that. We all love that track. We loved it. The hip hop world blew up about it. Right? Hip hop is back. The energy is here. Behind the scenes, it looks like allegedly Drake was trying to stop that from coming out, that record from coming out. That's the games that we don't know about. But then yet get in a video, like you see here in the screenshot, and say, cease and desist are for hoes. I don't trust either side. And I can't even trust the narratives that are purposefully being given to academics because academics will be used as a pawn in this situation. Right? Kendrick even tried to pull one of those bullets out the chamber by dissing Ack, by calling him biased in his track, right? He's trying to tell the fans as well, like, don't go with everything that academics is telling you. And academics could be giving you some real and some true information, but the source has a personal stake involved, which means that this person is purposefully or unpurposefully compromised because there's bullshit and smoke and mirrors on both sides. Sorry, it's true. Sorry, it's true. The rabbit hole. AK was goody. Members in the building. What's up, everybody? We here. Jimmy Hopkins. People are saying the items are stolen, which is why you can't use it for DSPs. Makes sense. The image is still on the non-monetized YouTube version of the song. Well, no, on YouTube you can change an image after a video has already been posted. So, hmm. So taking it off of DSPs, if because the items are really stolen, is the reason why the picture is down. You know what that would mean? That would mean that Drake's narratives worked towards academics, and academics posted that caption and that post to loan to Drake's narratives of there's a mole. Maybe there's no mole. Maybe the items were really stolen and got into Kendrick's hands, and he made a scathing track around a lot of it, right? And now here goes the whole who's gonna win with that shit actually settling for being true or not, because that track right there is the headshot. Drake needs that, though the pedophile and the 11-year-old, he needs that to be disproven or not true or narratives on his side around that song, because that song is the headshot. Okay. But once again, I say on the flip side, on Drake's side, first half of the stream, the shirt saying Shorty at the bottom, shot at Kendrick. The diabetes overweight medicine and the Maybach glove, shot at Rick Ross. Kind of makes sense on Drake's side. The jewelry receipt, a hint at the Family Matters scene where he's holding up the diamond, that's really Kendrick Lamar's fiance's ring. Interesting. Interesting. Y'all see the title, right? The title says somebody is lying. Don't you just love that when you're on the outside looking into something, and like let's say you walk up on two like little kids, right? One kid says, Drake broke the lamp. Who broke the lamp? Kendrick broke the lamp. All right. Somebody's lying. Y'all see the title. Somebody's lying. And that's why all the exposing and the digging of the background dirt and the trying to find skeletons and let me go allegedly put some money in the street to come back with some receipts. That's why. That's why all that happens behind the scenes. It's not a battle of just purely who's the best rapper. These guys, they be lying to us if they told us that. When Kendrick says, I don't spend the time digging up, he's full of shit. Be honest, he's full of shit. That's what's going to help these guys win the battle. The dirt, the angles, the skeletons, the receipts, the tea. That's what helps it all. Hence the cover art that they're rolling out and the angles and them speaking to media outlets to try to get their narratives pushed. Shit is even making its way down to me. Peep the early part of the stream if you really catch on to what I'm saying. Like I said earlier, I was like, I hinted in yesterday's stream, like I can't really say that yet because I wanted to show credibility to somebody I was talking to. But now that it's out, I can say, yeah, that pushes Drake's side. But then there's also shit in here that's pushing Kendrick's side. People joining in, receipts coming out, emails coming out, pictures coming out. This picture, this was stolen. No, it's not. It's a mole. Somebody's lying. Somebody's fucking lying. Jimmy Hopkins, salute once again, homie. Kendrick addressed this domestic dispute angle 10 years ago on a Breakfast Club. I believe he did. I believe it did, but Drake's going to use it. You know, the rest is up to interpretation and supplemented people sometimes too. Like, so for example, if you have an accusation on Kendrick, yo, you beat up your woman, and they'll say his fiance comes out and says, he never laid a finger on me, then everybody's going to push it off the table. She could just be biased for him, sticking up for him publicly, helping him publicly. Who knows? You know, but then it also makes me just, how the fuck did Drake get his hands on her ring, possibly? I'm hearing rumors of why Kendrick lives in New York now. I'm hearing rumors that they separated. I'm hearing rumors that he was ran out of LA. Rumors at this point. But today I am giving you a little bit more behind the scenes tea of rumors that are being and narratives that are being put out there. And we'll see how it translates into the music. Shout out to my guy too. I don't ain't saying no names right now. Protect my people. Shout out to my folks. You know what I'm saying? I want our platform to continue to get to a place where I mean, because I talk to people just in like regular general, like friend to friend conversations, and they may or they may not be tapped in. But I also want us to get to the point where people need us to have some of the truth and reality because they're like, that's the Sarius True channel. And that's a very unbiased place. And he's going to keep it 1,000. He's going to be objective and let that shit come to us. Let that information come to us. You know, that just comes with weight. Comes with weight. The Ozempic lines for Drake and K Dot, clue you find. Okay. Yeah, we talked about that a piece too. Drake body Kendrick. Nobody got bodied yet, sir. Nobody. Appreciate the super, but nobody got bodied yet. There's all great music. Even the joint that was dropped yesterday from Kendrick. You're Not Like Us. My first 2 or 3 times listening to it, and because I don't really got that much of a vibe to like Bay Area music. Like I've never been like a big E40 fan. I respect him as a legend and as an OG and as one of the goats, but I've never really been a huge fan of like E40 type music. So I just don't have the ears for some of that Bay Area sound, right? So when I heard that Kendrick song, I'm immediately I can get it. Like oh, he's putting on for this area, and I'm pretty sure out there in the clubs when that song comes on, it probably is like a gang vibe. Like the whole Oakland stand up, they in there, they dancing to it, they going crazy. He put on for them, and even past locally, I see a lot of people like that track, Not Like Us, that dropped yesterday. I see a lot of people like that. And as I listen to it and sit with it a little bit more, I still feel like it's my personal least favorite release of all the diss tracks that come out so far. But it's not a bad track at all. And he's talking some shit in there. And then the cover art is for me the biggest takeaway. Because those red location icons on the roof, there was like 15 or 16 of them. And he's indicating on your place. Look what he said on Meet the Grams. Your crib is next to be on some Diddy Raid shit. LeBron and family, get away from him. Curry, if anybody close to him, they're looking at you too. That's a big narrative, a big angle that he's trying to put on him, right? The whole escort business and the pedophile stuff and the underage women and the sex trafficking. And then it comes out about the guy Baca, the OVO Baca guy. He's got some charges on him. I think he pled. I think we read it. We read something on Reddit that said, I'll say alleged, respectfully, I'll say allegedly, um, pled guilty to some trafficking type of charges or something. And Kendrick said in the song, Baca, he got some weird charges, right? He said in the song. So those to me were like the call out. You pull that out, the cover art, and you pull those pieces out while he's still trying to put on for his, but he's still on his chessboard heavy. I think those are the pieces I pay attention to. But anyway, nobody got bodied. Nobody. Like I think that's past the reach. Like, come on. Shake that ass for drink. Shake that ass. For free. Yeah, and then we find out he's saying the accusation of it might be the guy Freeze kid and shake your ass for free. That's so disrespectful. But it's funny. It is. It is. Brian Winslow, you see DJ act video. He now has K Dot winning. Really? Hmm. Okay. He may also have a million fucking comments and people, pushing around saying, "Act, stop." I had that debate yesterday too. Like, let's put that out there as far as like where we all stand right now. And I'll tell you, for me, 100%, Kendrick is winning. He's winning the war and he's winning the battles. He's winning. Drake is not out. I thought yesterday's song was the knockout blow, but there's information that's coming out that may or may not invalidate those major angles. We're going to see how that plays out. If any of that gets any inklings of validations, doesn't even have to be like, oh, we got the birth certificate now. I don't think we're ever going to get the full 100% confirmations from either side about those two big angles and Meet the Grams. But if we get the more and more little stuff that we get, all it does is move the needle. It's going to move the needle either more and more to Kendrick's side or more to Drake's side. If you move the needle from that song more and more to Kendrick's side for those angles in that song, it becomes one of the most scathing and one of the wildest diss songs ever. So yeah, he's winning. And Drake is on the defense. Drake lost the coin toss. Drake has to spend more time fighting other people and cleaning up the accusations that's on his shoulders because, like we said on yesterday's stream, when Kendrick comes out and he says the pedophile stuff and also the 11-year-old stuff, that is mega. That is new news to us, new angles for us. But Drake had one that was just as mega, and Kendrick, his song just seemed to step on it, which is, yo, that child may not be yours. Kendrick's song, he dropped it immediately, and it seems to step on Drake's shit. Kendrick is winning the war. He is. Official Blue from the South. Appreciate you, homie. Salute. Members in the building. Euphoria was played during the playoffs. No, it wasn't. I missed any games last night. No, well, I was on the trenches stream too. No, it wasn't. Oh, who played? Who? What teams played that would have played Euphoria? Yeah. Nasty, 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 nasty. Kendrick is not lying when he said there was a mole. So I heard things yesterday that though even the mole within itself, and we talked about some of that earlier in the stream, that even the mole within itself is a dummy mission for Kendrick or a bait or a setup for Kendrick. I don't know how much I want to believe that. I hear that coming out from Drake's side. It wasn't never no mole. It was all bait. And that's why I said earlier, it's a contradiction for me on one side to say, like, all right, that picture, the shorty t-shirt is a shot at Kendrick's height. Even at this point, we don't want to see no fucking more short jokes at this point. But the medicine and the Maybach glove is for Rick Ross. The receipts is for Kendrick fiance's engagement ring, the jewelry receipts. Then you hear over here, Drake's father's luggage is stolen. That's a contradiction to me. Y'all see the title. Somebody's lying. Somebody's lying during halftime. Of which game? Which game? Damn, I gotta look. I gotta see who's up and who's losing. Bacchus charges were dropped. Good for him. I'm not here to convict anybody. I'm not here to play judge and jury on some legal shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's the accusations that fit the narratives is the point of it. And we also said on yesterday's stream, once again, I'm gonna be very consistent that fans ain't gonna try to track down every last little detail outside of the songs. The songs are the ones that's doing the millions and millions of views on streaming platforms, and DSPs and social media and YouTube, and that's what's gonna do billion. No, I said millions, billions of views between all the channels playing them and whatnot, and social media spreading and the clips, billions of views. That's what's gonna really land. The people like us that are a little bit more invested, we're gonna go try to grab and fish out the details and whatnot. Um, but when Kendrick drops, "You're Not Like Us," and he mentions Baka's name, and then he puts out that type of cover art of like the sex offenders on Drake's crib's roof. You know what I'm saying? And we pull up an article and see that, oh, you was charged with that. People's gonna say, all right, I see that something happened legally in the real world involving sex trafficking or some sex related charges or domestic dispute, whatever. And this guy is tied to OVO. That's really what the purpose of it is. It does its job if it just lands like that, whether the charges are dropped or not. From a battle standpoint, it does its job at that point because at least Kendrick gets to say, like, I didn't make that up. Why does he even have the charges? We know that guilty people get off sometimes, right? I'm not here to convict anybody. I'm definitely not talking about Baca when I say that. I'm not talking about anybody specifically, but guilty people get off every day. B, you ever hear of OJ Simpson? Who the fuck don't believe that he ain't do it? You know what I'm saying? Look at all these rappers. Rappers admit to beating charges of shit that they've done every day. B. Now I know a lot of them be fabricating and lying, but how many people admit to that? Beat my case, beat my King Vaughn. How many songs do he have talking about beat my murder, beat my charges, and all that type of stuff? And now it comes out and like, yo, he might be allegedly the first hip hop serial killer. Like Rick, Trap Ross's documentary and shit. Like, damn. by definition, he almost fits the mold. So now we start putting murders on King Von's jacket, let alone he's been bragging and trying to tell you guys for years, like I did this and I got set by this, right? But yet he had murder charges on him that he beat. Niggas beat charges every day, B. Beating a charge doesn't mean that you didn't do it. But to be fair, if we're gonna say if you have your day in court, innocent until proven guilty, if somebody is cleared in a court of law, we're supposed to fall back, right? But we know, some of us know personally, yeah, he did that shit, but he got off, or she did that shit, she got off. So sorry is true. We gotta accept both sides. We gotta accept both sides. We gotta be real. We gotta be real. Um, yeah, I did see that damn that I shouldn't say damn. I actually want the T Wolves to beat Denver. And that's no Denver hate. But I do want the T Wolves to win the series. I wouldn't mind them winning it all this year, to be honest. I don't got a horse in that race, but I wouldn't mind, yeah, Ant-Man and his squad winning it all this year. But yeah, they won game one. I saw that. I just want to know what game they played Euphoria in. That's crazy. All right. All right. This was a hold on. All right. This is a fun stream. I do take pride in us getting here and rocking out, and some of the stuff that you guys bring to the table as well. Put me onto stuff, keep me in the loop of certain stuff, but also I have my own angles and opinions. I really appreciate us being able to chop down certain fables, be objective, be smart about certain things, right or wrong. Be smart about certain things over here. Like I said yesterday, there's no shot at anybody in particular. I'm just saying we pride ourselves on that. Like we're more than just having to come on here and play the song, right? We want to provide some substance over here, y'all. I mean, we just talked for an hour about shit. So thank you everybody that's on the stream and rocking out. What's this last one before I get out of here? Being a part of Baphomet system and child trafficking, which is prominent in Hollywood, is much bigger than Kendrick's child being his. So shout out to our members. Thank you for being a member. Shout out to you, Green Notes for the super. So I don't do the Baphomet stuff as much as far as like my beliefs on why people do what they do. There's just bad people in the world, and there's also groups and cliques in the world that just do wild stuff, right? And money is power too. You got a lot of rich people that just don't know how to have the right type of fun with their fucking money. People cross lines, they break laws, they do things that's unethical, things that's illegal, all types of shit. You know what I mean? Now, do I believe that there's certain cliques and power structures within these major industries, the music industry, Hollywood? Like, it's too much to ignore at this point. Like, a classic example to me is Dave Chappelle, damn near crying out an expose about what he was going through, while a lot of people on a shallow surface is just trying to claim that he was crazy for going to Africa. He was like, maybe it's not me. You don't get all this shit going on. Martin Lawrence going through what he went through. Like, you don't got all this shit. It's just even Cat Williams. Cat Williams does say some bullshit sometimes, but he also does say a lot of real shit sometimes. So art imitates life. The Fall of the House of Usher. Like, it's real. This shit happens. These sex parties and whatnot, and sex trafficking, and you got some of these grown ass men and old men or whatever that's into disgusting things like children. And I don't even gotta say blame Hollywood for that. Let's be real for a second. You could even what's that industry that's a $1 billion+ industry? You ever heard of it before? The porn industry. And people have all these different fetishes. And it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Some people have fetishes just for just straightforward heterosexual content. Some have fetishes for homosexual content. Some people have fetishes for fucking bondage. Some people have fetishes for, unfortunately, children. And my skin is crawling talking about this shit. But I don't have to say it's like some spirit or whatever. People are sometimes demonic and disgusting by nature, and they have their own vices. Jeffrey Dahmer, right? Some of it was him being turned out. As for the Netflix depiction, being turned out by his own father on accident by dissecting animals. But there's also things that he had naturally, where you think certain things just turn you on, certain things just excite you, certain things just fulfill you or make you happy, right? Just like that condition he said, um, shiny objects and shit, or internal organs and shit. How do you think you get the people of the world that become cannibals? And now most of us would never fucking eat another human, right? We just ugh. But there's a couple people in this world that for some reason that shit is cool to them. You know what I mean? You got areas of this world where they do it for survival, right? I'm waiting for the next season of The Last of Us to come on. Speaking of, he had a whole town that was cannibalizing humans for survival, and some of them was a little bugged out too. But art imitates reality, so I don't got to go to spiritual. I just look at some of these structures, some of these powerful people, some of these people's vices, some of these people's disgusting nature, and then you can end up with like a Diddy. Like, I don't think that the average person thinks that Diddy is just the fucking devil. But you could turn into something like that allegedly simply because of the money and the power that you have. People go crazy with their money and their power. You got a lot of people too that would say Diddy has been fucked up from his losses too. You know, the mother of his child and whatnot. It's deep. It's a deep conversation about human nature and the variables that create people to turn out to be certain things. You take a certain person that's just born to be turned out by murdering and dissecting people or cannibalizing, then that person's going to be like that. He has that shit in his DNA. He's born with certain little things to him, quirks to him, weirdness to him. You know what I'm saying? Or differences to him. Right. And then you got other people where they just get turned on to it, get around certain people, and they're like, oh, this is what we do over here. Fuck it. Let me try it. Get turned on to it. Nothing different than fucking, hey, come up in this bathroom, try this line of coke. Okay, let me try. You turned out now. Right. It's no different. People also get turned out by their own money and power. People start they be feeling invincible with their money and power. I feel like they could do anything, break any law, cross any line. So read notes, you kind of just took me into a whole separate topic, and shit, that could be a stream within itself, but we're gonna chill out for the moment. Trick had paid people to beat up Johnny Blaze. My first time hearing that. Money and power will have people doing all types of stuff. Whew. All right, we've been here for an hour, y'all. Unless something wild happens, like a drop or something or whatever, I'm gonna try to be back here tonight after the Chrome stream to especially talk about the outcome of Aver versus Swamp. Okay. Appreciate y'all as always. Checks and balances, what up? Channel members, what up? Oh shit, damn! I promised y'all a fucking members stream. Shit, I gotta try to figure that out today. All right, stay subscribed. Keep your alerts around. Check me out on Twitter and everything. Follow me on Twitter. I'm gonna try to keep you guys updated with the next streams that we're gonna be back for. But oh shit, I can't complain no, cause we here brick by brick. All right. Sorry, it's true.